Well, basically, I'm the Bugs on the Go guy. So I do all our Bugs on the Go, our outreach programs for the museum. So we go pretty much all over the state, different schools, libraries, churches, all different things like that. And I do the programs for all different age levels, as young as 1, 2 years old to all the way to high school age kids, even older than that, actually. So, just doing a general program for the kids. They seem to really enjoy it. It was a good time. Basically, we're located down in Toms River. It's really, really popular. We get pretty much people all year long in the off season, like not summertime. We get people for schools and different groups like that. And then right now, this is our busier season where we get a lot of people, from the shore crowd. We get a lot of that, things like that, and then camps and summer camps and things like that, and just summer groups. We get a lot of those types of things. And then I do predominantly. This is mostly when I do a lot of the outreach programs, the Bugs on the Go, things like that. So the 4 Touch Buddies, those are the ones that we use every day. I use those. They're the same ones. We have a Madagascar hissing cockroach, a millipede, a emperor scorpion, and a Chilean rosehair tarantula. And those are the Touch Buddies that the audience will actually get to pet, and if they want to, they don't have to. And then I usually bring 5 cases with me, which are what we call Cornell drawers. Those are drawers that we store the bugs in, and those bugs are not alive anymore. They're pinned, and they're kept in these cases like this, so that way we could see what they did look like when they were alive, without having to bring as many live animals, because that can be a little bit tough. And pretty much with those, I bring the butterflies and the moths. I'm sure you guys can see. And then I bring just some different insects, different walking sticks, things like that, some beetles, and then some spiders and scorpions, just to kind of give the kids a good variety. I pretty much just do it just to kind of teach them, not all bugs are scary, that they're not all going to hurt you or kill you or whatever. A lot of people, there's a lot of mixed emotions about bugs, especially the spiders and the scorpions. And there's a lot of really negative connotations that kind of go with them, and like irrational fears in a way. People think that a lot of them are deadly and dangerous, and that's kind of what I'm here to do, is just explain, you don't have to like them. They don't need to be your best friend, but they're definitely not going to hurt you. So this case is it's a good variety. It's not all the moths that we have in New Jersey. We have thousands of different species, I think 1,100 different species in New Jersey. So there's a couple of Cecropia moths in there. The one major one that is in here that I really like are the Polyphemus moths. They have a lot of really cool reds on them. This yellow guy here is an imperial moth. The AO moths are in there, which is, like you mentioned, they try to make the state moth. The only one that a lot of people recognize that is not in here is the Luna moth. And the Luna moths are a really popular one. You find them a lot of times. You find them on cement. Moths have really good textures that they seem to usually like to adhere to. For example, the Cecropia moths, you find them a lot of times on wawas because they like that stucco that's on the outside of wawas. So the Luna moths a lot of people see because they usually hang down lower. The only reason I don't bring them with me here is because they have these really long tails, and when I drive around with the bugs, those tails can break. So I don't bring the Luna moth with me. That's pretty much the only one that a lot of people do request, but I don't want to break them. It's a lot of memorization. That's the biggest thing. Bugs. There's one of the biggest facts that really astounds me with just how immense the world of insects is that for every human on Earth, there's 100 million bugs. So that's a lot of bugs, and they don't have a lot of common names to them. So it's a lot of memorization, but it's such a rewarding career because it's unlike a lot of animals because they are so small. We're constantly learning about new bugs and finding new bugs and making discoveries in places that places that are incredibly populated that you would never think that we're finding new animals in, and that's really amazing. So that's why I really like it, is because it's such a diverse, and it's always changing, the world of insects. So as much it is a lot of learning and a lot of knowledge to retain. It's a really, really rewarding field to be in. Most scorpions, there's around 1,100 or 1,200 different types of scorpions in the world, and most of them they have in their exoskeleton, their bones, they have a chemical, it's a protein, it's called beta-carboline. And that beta-carboline is a phosphorescent chemical. So basically when you shine a black light on it or an ultraviolet light, it will glow. And it makes a UV light, so when you shine the UV light on them, it makes a really, really bright blue color. And basically it's a really utilitarian way that people can actually find scorpions. They'll go out with the black light and they can shine it onto the ground or into their burrows, because scorpions they'll have multiple entrances to burrows. So instead of kind of going into each and every one, they will then just shine the black lights on each one, and that's how they can find the scorpions. Even people that just live in areas with them, they also use the black light too, because scorpions, they like shoes. It's a natural cave. It's pretty much a pre-made home for them. So they'll use those black lights, shine them in their shoes, make sure that there's no scorpions in there. And it works really, really well. We have a fairly strong, social media presence. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. We have a website that has pretty much all of our information about it. Tells about all of our exhibits. Shows how, it gives kind of like a virtual tour in a way of the museum, so you can see all of our different rooms. Pretty much all of our rooms have a different theme, and you can kind of go from room to room. And they don't really have many pictures of it because it's hard to show bugs on a computer screen. But you can see at least the idea of what's happening in each one of those rooms. It's pretty cool. Thanks, to East Brunswick Library for letting me come out here. I think everybody should definitely come check out the museum. Even if you don't find that you're a huge bug person, it's definitely worth it to come out, check it out, see some of the animals. You're not forced to pet anything, so it could be a fun trip for pretty much everybody.